the Raikou event is almost here, and with that comes value bundles. And if you ask me, I think Bundle M is really good value to buy this time. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video, it's Bro Vinny here. Now, as usual with any of these value bundle analysis, it all depends on what you really need. Don't buy a bundle of items that you don't actually plan to use or you don't find any value at all. For example, some people don't value dream clusters at all. This analysis, as usual, is going to use the diamond shop, the general shop, for a cost comparison with the value bundles, but for items that I can't usually purchase from the general shop, I will use the exchange shop instead and convert sleep points to diamonds. However, what is tricky about this time is that we have this item called Raikou Main, and I'm sure you've heard me talk a lot about Raikou Mains in the last few videos. But what we still don't know is the exchange cost of items like the Raikou Biscuit and the Raikou Incense. And if you don't know what this graphic is, you can find these infographics regarding the Raikou event at the Pokemon Sleep Twitter, but they don't really give us much more information than what we already knew from the previous developer updates, which we've already covered in the previous videos. But unfortunately, without knowing how much these things cost in terms of Raikou Mains to exchange and what the limits are, it's a little tricky to value these bundles because these Raikou Mains, well, they gotta have a value, right? Not necessarily. And that's because no matter how much Raikou Mains you get, if there is a limit to how much Raikou Incense or Biscuits or main skill seeds that you can exchange, then having excess Raikou Mains may be completely useless. My suspicion is that any excess Raikou Mains may be able to exchange for something low value, maybe some dream shards by the end of the event. So it may not be fully wasted. But if you ask me, the game should be able to provide you for the regular player who sleeps at least once a day, even if you're free to play, the ability to catch a Raikou, because that's what they said as their goal. They're gonna let even new players achieve this goal to catch Raikou. So my suspicion is buying these bundles which will just give you early access to the items. In which case, then these Raikou Mains technically would be worth nothing. But if I'm wrong, and there is no limit to how many good items you can exchange like main skill seeds or Raikou Incense or Raikou Biscuits, then there could be a significant value in these Raikou Mains. So I'm going to take a look at these bundles in 3 different ways. One is if I assign 0 value to Raikou Mains, versus number 2, if I assigned an arbitrary 1-to-1 conversion between Diamond and Raikou Main. And then one more situation where I overvalued Raikou Mains and assigning them a high Diamond value, what these value bundles will look like. And just to clarify, there are going to be 3 value bundles in the first week of the Raikou event. And then there will be 2 more bundles that you can buy, and they're called the Raikou Last Chance bundles, which will be available from the second week of the Raikou event. So there are 5 bundles that we're looking at here. One thing to note though is that in the last event info update, the developers said that in the second week, there'll be a slightly lower, and I presume that means cheaper, exchange rate for your event items. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Is it that we should all save our Raikou Mains until the second week because everything will be cheaper, or are they going to be set limited numbers for exchange in the first week and then again in the second week? So really you should be spending all of your Raikou Mains in order to clear out the shop twice. That is still yet to be seen. So the value bundles are going to again vary slightly in how valuable they are, depending on how they implement this exchange shop. So what kind of value are we looking at this time? If I assign absolutely 0 value to the Raikou Main, and I've chosen a 0 arbitrary number for how many diamonds each Raikou Main is worth, because I presume that the game will allow free-to-play players to clear out the shop, so you don't actually need to buy any of these diamond bundles in order to do that, as long as you go to sleep every day and do your research and complete your missions. Then we're looking at about a 36 to 38% in value for the items that you can buy, which I'd say is a pretty standard value bundle discount compared to our usual bundles. However, if I assign a 1 diamond value to each Raikou Main, so you can see that each Raikou Main, 25 Raikou Mains becomes 25, so each Raikou Main is worth 1 diamond, an arbitrary value. we hit a 36 to 41% discount across our value bundles, which I would say is a bit closer to the better value bundles we've had in the past. So I'd say giving Raikou main a 1 diamond per main value is probably going to be accurate, because except for the trial bundle, the game hasn't really often given us anything beyond a 40% discount. For example, if I assign 2 diamonds per Raikou main, so you can see that the Raikou main value doubled here, we start to hit some very high discounts compared to previous bundles, up to about 43-44% discount, which I'm going to say is unlikely based on our previous experience. So we're kind of reverse engineering what a Raikou main should be valued at, which might actually give us an idea of how the exchange shop for the event will look, because we kind of know how much Raikou main is worth, and we also know how much main skill seeds are worth. We'll come back to this point in a moment, but I just want to point out that only in Bundle M this time are you going to get something that is not typically available in value bundles, and that's a Good Camp Ticket. And I think Good Camp Ticket is a value item that can be used by most players, whether you're free to play or you pay to play. Heck, I even just exchange Good Camp tickets every week with my diamonds at the regular 500 diamond value. So because of how good a Good Camp ticket is, I'd say that the Bundle M is the one to go for this time. However, Poke Biscuit is the most versatile item, so don't let me stop you from buying any of the bundles that have Poke Biscuits. But if it were me, I would prioritize a Good Camp ticket, especially if you don't have one for the Raikou event week. I would run a Good Camp ticket for the Raikou event. Ultimately, just trying to power up that Snorlax in order to get a higher Drowsy power, which in turn means more Raikou mains, and then more items in the Raikou exchange shop. So definitely don't look past Bundle M for this event. So that was it for the value bundle analysis. Basically, get Bundle M. This next part is all speculation. Remember I said earlier that one Raikou main being worth 1 diamond is a good approximation for how much Raikou main should be worth, because it gave us approximately 40% discount on the value bundles, which is what we would usually get for a good value bundle. So I've used that as a way to estimate how much each item will cost in Raikou mains. I don't know how they're going to value Raikou Incense, so I was going to be completely off on that one. So I didn't even bother giving it a value. I'm going to guess that it's going to be higher than the Raikou Biscuit, but from the Raikou Biscuit onwards, we can take a guess. So each Raikou Biscuit is going to be worth anywhere between 3 to 6 friendship points. Why 6? Well, that's what a Raikou Biscuit does when you feed it to a Raikou. It gives it 6 friendship points. But if you didn't use the Raikou Biscuit and the Raikou exchange shop has closed, then they'll convert to Great Biscuits. And a Great Biscuit is worth 200 diamonds in the shop. So for a 1-to-1 conversion, it would cost 200 Raikou mains to get 3 friendship points. And of course, if we count the Raikou Biscuit as 6 points, because that's how much you would get if you fed it to a Raikou, then it would be 400 Raikou mains each. So again, this is all speculation, so don't quote me on this. As for main skill seeds, I usually use the Sleep Points exchange shop divided by 4, which equals about 450 to get a diamond value. Some people would divide it by 2.5, and that's okay as well, because if you use another item in the exchange shop as a parity comparison, then it would be worth 720 Raikou mains per main skill seed. And I really don't think the game is going to let us earn that many main skill seeds, so I really think that they're going to set a limit, and maybe 2 or 3. And once again, for Thunderstone, I just used the exchange shop value, so that's 1400 divided by 4, and that is 350 Raikou mains. And this number here is yet another speculation, is how many friendship bars a Raikou is going to have. And my guess is somewhere between 32 to 36, but I could be completely off. Let me show you what my members think on my Discord. I put up a poll a few days ago, and most people think that Raikou needs, number 4, anywhere between 26 to 30 points in order to befriend. And I think that's a really good guess, because the current highest friendship point requirement is 25, and that belongs to Dragonite and Tyranitar, the pseudo legends. so it would only be natural to assume that a legendary will cost even more points than 25 in order to catch. So I'm not really sure why some people thought it's going to cost less than 25 points in order to catch, but that would be very nice. So the reason why I think Raikou is going to cost somewhere between 32 to 36 friendship points is because from about 32 friendship point onwards is when Master Biscuit becomes better value than using your regular Poké Biscuit or Great Biscuit to catch. So if it did cost something like 38 to 40 or onwards, I think we'll all need to start looking at Master Biscuits to catch legendaries after this event. Of course, during this event, you should be using Raikou Biscuits instead. I will cover the value of using a Master Biscuit in a separate video. Let me know in the comments section below which bundle you're going to get for the Raikou event.